Okay, so here I am setting up to do my monthly supplements, and I've got 30 cups lined out here, 3 rows of 10 or whatever you want to do. It's just easy to reach it that way to put each morning and noon. So I'm going to go on and, talking about supplements right now and why I take so many, and you'll see that in a minute, is that because I am on a reduced calorie diet, very much so, I am losing weight, and I'm trying to exercise. I need to balance the nutrients that I need for each one. So you'll see here in a minute that there will be quite a few I'm going to get out here, but there will be a reason for each. Okay? Okay, as I promised, here we are. We're looking at my whole laundry list of supplements I do take on a daily basis, some twice a day. I'm going to separate them into four actual groups. Maybe some a little bit not quite correct, but anyway, so we've got here at first, we have my regular hypothyroid, Armour, and adrenal glandular is desiccated. I'm going to consider those prescription type medicine. On the other hand, I have a group here that is basically all minerals. Over here on the right, we start with selenium, chromium, then there's a Millennium Sports Technologies product called CalMag Citrate, which acts calcium, magnesium, and D, and straight up zinc, straight up magnesium, straight up iron, and straight up manganese. Reason why I take those, because I'm just very much mineral challenged, and what we have to do is actually take these and then test up to it. Now, you're going to find quite a bit of stuff will have vitamin D along with it that I take, and I do calculate the whole total on a spreadsheet, so I don't end up with too much D. And I actually do, you take the supplement and then you test up to what Informationist tells you is a therapeutic or use level. With D, it's between 50 and 100, and there's varying opinions as to where exactly in that range you need to be. The next group here is straight up vitamins, as we all recognize them. You got D3 in 5,000 units, so I take 10,000 by itself, and it adds up to about 11,800 is what I take during the day when I add up the other supplements that do have D added to them as well. So you got across the bottom, right to left, the D3. I take a vitamin E, 400 international units, and I take an A and a D combination because that's just the way I found it. The D kind of rides along with it. It's in the formulation. The reason why I take A is so I can process the amount of D that I do take. Ubiquinol, use 100. I use 200 a day. I probably should be upping that when I go ahead and increase my training level. And then the B100, just a broadband, hit all the B's a little bit on that. Then moving up here to folic acid. That's been shown to be depressed in people that are exercising heavily, and a very important acid to have on. K and K2, enough said about that one. I think everybody understands about K and K2. And I also, over above the B's, supplement the B12, which is shown to be beneficial. Over here I have basically my supplements, food supplements, and also some minerals mixed in here. I probably should have the ZMK over there with the minerals because it is largely a mineral product. Got on the bottom there, right to left, taurine, help the nervous system, stinging nettle leaf, dim, bitter melon fruit extract, milk thistle, tonillin, XSCLA, conjugenic acid. I do take on a regular basis Capraflex, which is a combination of glucosamine, chondroitin, also some anti-inflammatories. Turmeric is in there, some curcumin extract, which is the active ingredient of turmeric. And it has just been one that I have to continually take. I know that Ben, he takes it on when he's sick, but I got to take it all the time to keep myself from getting overly sore. Right next to it, it says Mega EFA, but that is actually turmeric extract. I just put it in a bigger bottle because I take 3 of those a night. And then we've got the fish oil, which is triglyceride based. Moving up here, ZMK, that's a nighttime sleep aid. It works synergistically with Samidrin from Millennium Sports Technologies. L-theanine really helps out my mood. It just really is surprisingly calming, especially when you're dealing with hormone issues. And then last but not least, natural astaxanthin. And that's what I used in the summertime to help my skin deal with sun exposure, which I try to maximize. Even with backing off, even with maximizing my sun exposure, because I live up, 46 parallel here in the United States, I really do need to have some supplemental D. It's just because of who I am. So I do not back off on the D. I just merely my D levels float up to the 70 range in the summertime and bottom out around 40 in the wintertime. And I've tested it both winter and summer. I tested it regularly to begin with, but now I've pretty much settled in. I'll test it every 2 years or so, either summer or winter, and find out where I'm peaking out. I'm not expecting, because I keep it pretty consistent on the type of supplements I take and the other ones with it. So anyway, this is how I do it, and I'll go ahead and I'll populate these cups here, and I'll do it once for morning and once for evening. And I'll dump the mornings into a fold-up Ziploc bag, not a Ziploc, but a fold bag. I'll pile them up, and then I'll do them for the evening, and I'll put them in a small snack Ziploc. And then when I package them up, I'll put the morning and evening, so that I have a handy day to day. If I'm going away for 7 days, I grab 7 of them, put them in my overnight bag, and away I go. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay? Okay, so I packaged up the morning dose, and it looks in a bag like that. That's just the regular sandwich bags that you fold up. They're not Ziploc or anything. Packaging them for 30 days inside. These are going to actually be inside another Ziploc, so it's not going to matter that much. I do reuse them, so I stuff them into another full gallon bag as I use them, and I stuff them in there, and we do reuse them. So. And bags are good for lots and lots of times. When I do put them in there, I do end up rolling it and folding it back into itself, so that way it doesn't spill out and mix up with the other ones. So it's relatively easy to do. And again, why I take so many supplements is because I just want to give my body the best chance it can to do what it needs to do. And there's just some things that you just can't get enough of. Perhaps like this, like the vitamin A here that I do take. Yes, I do eat liver once a week if I can, but there's 7 days where I go on a very much caloric restricted diet, and it doesn't include as much as even liver and onions. I'm down to 700-800 calories a day for those 7 days. And that's again for weight loss. Then once I get weight loss done, then I won't need it so much. The milk thistle, pretty much the stinging nettles, which I've relocated in this larger box, is because it's just so much more convenient than a small little bag like that, little bottle like that. So I mark them. I know what the dosage is. So I just go ahead and mark them and put them in there. Now, stinging nettles grow around here, and I'd be happy to add, once they start sprouting up, I'm going to grow them myself. I just would eat them in my diet. If I can get enough, looking at whether the extract is suitable or not, what do I have to do? Eat 3 gallons of stinging nettles all boiled down every day to get what I get here or not? Same thing goes with DIM. That is basically crustaceous vegetables such as broccoli and Brussels sprouts. The broccoli's starting in the garden now, so I'd be a little bit better off. I probably don't need as much DIM. In fact, I'd cut it down to 2 tablets versus 4 during the winter, when I can have to rely on food from the grocery store. I have added in my garden sand and other minerals. I'm going to get a test here pretty quick so I know what kind of minerals I'm starting off with. If the minerals aren't in the soil to begin with, then the plants have no way of actually obtaining them. They can't synthesize, say, iron and manganese and such, iodine and such things like that. So you've got to add minerals to the soil and get it tested, especially if you're growing your own, then you know what you have. So there we are. So I'm going to go ahead and I bag these up. I use these smaller snack bags, and they are in fact Ziploc. So what I'll do is I'll take the evening supplements and I'll dump them in the bag, and then I'll put one of the morning bags inside of that, and then squeeze most of the air out and seal it up, and away I go. And I'll show you what the finished product looks like here in a few minutes.